All right. Welcome to another episode of Rubbing Elbows, where on this channel we help you
level up your real estate game.
If you're interested in learning how to crush it in real estate and learn the ins and outs,
let us guide you all the back channels, learning all these strategies and becoming a top producer.
And not only that, but we're going to bring some of the best minds in real estate, some of the most successful, most influential people in real estate to teach you how to get it done. So if you're interested, click that subscribe button and follow us. We're going to be uploading a new episode every week.
Let's do this.
Are we recording? All right, welcome back to another episode of Rubbing Elbows. This week's exciting because last week we talked about step 3, and we got a lot of good feedback. People reached out, messaged us, told us that they're following the steps, already starting to see some results. Some people even found a property. And this week we're going to talk about what you do once you find the property, once you identify the seller, how to actually get into the property. So Chuck, take it away.
Yes. So step 4 is a crucial step. It's basically after you planted the seed that you're sending them an offer, that they must see an offer from you at this side of the market. You want to reach out to them and say, hey, this within 24 hours of speaking with them or reaching out to them and getting some sort of positive response from them, saying, hey, in order for me to get the best possible, most accurate evaluation on this offer that I'm going to send you, is it possible to get interior access just to see what the inside looks like? I'll be in and out. I'll be quick. I'm just curious to see what it looks like so I can get an idea of what the interior condition is.
And remember, the idea here is to justify it for their own benefit. Obviously, it's for your benefit, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're giving them an educated price, right? Are there things in the property that benefit them and how much the value is? Are there issues in the property that maybe you need to point out? So the reason that you're getting into the property is so that you can come up with the most cost-effective price that is going to benefit them in the end.
Exactly. So I would say something along the lines of, we write offers on properties. We purchase properties where the sellers don't even notice that there's a view because there's hedges that have just outgrown themselves. And, that view is a huge piece of information for me to, make a higher offer for you. Things like that, right? So what I would suggest you do is get in there. And when you're in there, you want to build your rapport with the seller. You don't want to come off too pushy. You don't want to make it seem like this deal is going to make you or break you. You want to make it seem like this deal is another deal. If it works, it works. No big deal, right? And you want to kind of keep an eye on certain things. Are there cracks in the walls, on the ceilings? Is there funky layouts? Are you walking through a bedroom to get to another bedroom? Little things like that. And
major red flags, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for major red flags. I just closed escrow on a property yesterday, so now I can mention it, but it was a 2-unit property. I'm dealing with the owner who lives in one of them, but there's a tenant in the back, right? The second unit can be an issue, especially if the purpose of the property, which obviously you have to identify, you're going to tear it down and build something new, you have to take these things into account. Is there a tenant there that can become an issue? So by getting to the property, Chuck, to your point, you're able to go talk to the tenant, feel them out, see if they're reacting positively, negatively. And then these are things that you want to look out for because that could be a make or break. You don't want to get into a real estate deal that you know is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. And one more thing to mention is that right now, you've got a moratorium happening where a lot of people are just not wanting to touch anything with eviction. It's just part of, it's part of the game. So take that into consideration. You want to always put in your offers, and I will put that together when that comes through, when you actually bring a property. If you need our help with it, you want to put in the contract, delivered vacant. Property must be delivered vacant. And if the seller agrees to that, then you're golden because they have to deliver that property vacant. So that is step 4. It's short, it's sweet, it's potent, but you can make a lot of positive progress with your first deal or third deal or 11th deal. You got to really build your rapport with the seller. You got to make them feel comfortable to share certain information with you. And obviously, you got to take into account if this person is a hoarder and it's going to take 3 months for this person to clear this house out, you got to take that into consideration, because you don't want to put together a 10-day close. And this industry is a give and take. If I'm giving you a 10-day close, short close, you're giving me in return a better price. If I'm giving you a 3-month lease back, in return you're giving me something else. So it's a give and take kind of thing.
And it's crucial to make sure that, one tip that I can give, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, is be honest, be direct. Don't try to always beat around the bush or be afraid to lose the deal. This is a transaction. Both sides need to benefit. It's got to be a win-win. You're getting an off-market opportunity, which in today's world could be worth even more than the market value because there are no deals. So it's okay to pay a little bit more. That's not an issue. But you want to be honest. You don't want to hide information that could be crucial, like any red flags. If something doesn't feel right, look right, don't do everything to just make the deal work. Make sure that it's a solid deal. Make sure that you're able to make money on it. Whatever the case may be, either you're doing the deal yourself or you're going to wholesale the deal to somebody else. You still want to make sure that you have all of your bases covered.
Yeah. So one more thing to add to this is a lot of sellers are going to say, oh, well, my house, Zillow says blah, 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 blah. Okay. One thing I like to do is when a seller tells you Zillow says, you stop them mid-sentence, slap the shit out of them. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But Zillow, obviously, if you paid attention to what's been going on in real estate news over the last few months, Zillow had to lay off 25% of their workforce because of their screw up with this whole Zestimate thing. Think about it. What can a Zestimate really know, right? There's all types of...
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a mathematical equation of all the properties in the area that's sold, and it's an average. So it doesn't take into account, is this property better than average, worse than average? It doesn't take into account that the property across the street has incredible views, but yours doesn't.
Yeah.
So there's
Zillow
so many factors. It could just give you an average.
Yeah. Zillow has no way of knowing if your property is getting noise from the school across the way, then your neighbor who is not getting any noise because they happen to be positioned differently. Zillow has no way of knowing if you have a view and if your neighbor doesn't have a view. How would Zillow know that? It's an algorithm. It's a program. So,
and we're pointing these things out not because you probably don't know this, right? Most of us know that these little details, but these are tips that you can use in your conversation when you're talking to the seller, to the potential seller. Point that out, justify. As long as it makes sense and you can justify that it makes sense, then they'll go along with it. But if they just believe that Zillow is a reputable source, and by the way, it can work the opposite. I'm looking at a property now that Zillow says it's worth 1.5. It's worth 1.9. I'm willing to pay 1.9, but it only says 1.5. So tell that to your seller. Zillow sometimes gets it wrong on the opposite side. So we can't rely on that. And that is also one of the justifiable reasons to get into the property.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to get into the property, you want to build your rapport, you want to get an idea, and here's one of the most important things, okay? You want to take some footage, okay? You don't need to narrate the footage. Just send the footage, put together the footage, and then you can send it to me to help you evaluate it.
And make sure that you do some decent footage. You're not rushing through it. I see so many people sometimes recording and they're like embarrassed to record, so they're like just going very quickly. It becomes a headache to even watch. Take your time, go through it slowly, point everything out that you're seeing in the property because you're going to need that later, whether you're going to pass it on to somebody else or you want to revisit it. And hopefully you're looking at multiple properties. This is valuable information that you'll be able to tie back in.
Yeah, and it really comes down to having a good excuse as to why you're filming, right? If you're filming and you're kind of doing it quickly, thinking the seller or the owner is going to be like, hey, why are you filming? You can tell them ahead of time, hey, do you mind if I film this? I want to show this to my funder, or I want to show this to my general contractor or my architect who couldn't join me today. So like, yeah, sure, no problem. Boom. Here's the entrance. Here's what the front looks like. Here's what the backyard looks like. You want to point out if there's a apartment building next to it. You want to point out if there's a electrical pole, anything that will be a positive or a negative. You definitely want to point that out, and you definitely want to get footage of it. Footage means video. Don't just send pictures, because pictures, it's like an optical illusion if you don't take the right angle or if you take the right angle. So footage.
What do they say? A picture's worth 1,000 words?
Yeah.
A video's worth $1 million.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So You know, we started this new segment that I like that you did in the past, favorite things to say to clients. By the way, before we get into that, I do want to say that we pointed out a lot of things and we kind of role played a little bit. And the whole purpose is for you to have actual information, actual lines, actual scripts that you can use. So we did that by design so that you can take that information. Hopefully you're taking notes. Watch this video again. Write down the things that will match your style the most when you're having a conversation with a potential seller, and use them and give us feedback. If you can put comments down below on anything else that maybe we're leaving out that you've tried and has worked for you, great. Please comment below so that, you know, this community that we're building, everybody benefits from everybody. And then maybe we can learn something new and throw it on the next episode.
Yeah.
So we started a new segment, but we're going to skip it because we have a little treat. Chuck shared a video with me and I wanted him to bring it up on the episode. So why don't you talk about it, why you did it, what you think is valuable for our viewers, and why maybe they should do something similar.
Yeah. So year-end episodes or discussions about, you know, goals for the next year or how you did this year, always very, very important for me. For me, branding, you know, I put together this video really to introduce myself, right? To people who don't know what I do, how involved I am in the community. You know, if I have to meet every person, say, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Chuck. I do real estate. Oh, what kind of real estate do you do? Or are you a realtor? Or are you a wholesaler? Or do you do retail? Do you do investment? I'm going to send you a link. Here's a video of what I do. And let's share that video.
Yeah, we'll share it. And at the end of the day, branding is branding. You just want to keep branding. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, there's going to be 9 out of 10 things that are not going to be the best branding, but you want to keep consistent with branding. And that's one thing that Chuck is an expert in. He's always taking footage, recording videos, and what you do with that information later, sometimes you don't know. And
Yeah.
here's proof. So
Exactly.
let's watch.
You can do real estate like everyone else, or you can have a secret weapon by working with Chuck Dorfman. Get privileged access to off-market retail and wholesale deals, plus all the cash buyers, investors, and builder-developers you can handle. As the acquisition manager of the Los Angeles Real Estate Investors Club, host of the Rubbing Elbows podcast, and YouTube vlogger for LA Fixers, Chuck has access to the best resources in the industry. With a 5-star Yelp status and continuous community support and sponsorships, Chuck Dorfman has you covered. Reach out via Facebook, Instagram, or call 818-634-9598 today.
So this video is going to be everywhere. It's on my Yelp page. It's on my LA Fixers page. It's on, you know, it's just, this is a video I'm going to be branding. I'm going to be sending it out. Everybody who knows me, everybody who doesn't know me is going to get this video.
I love the video. First of all, I know some of the footage because I was part of it. That's from well over a year ago.
Yeah.
That you just took on your phone and,
Yeah.
just taking those moments, keeping them, saving them. And then how did you get the video done? Maybe you could give some tips.
So before I do that, I want to say one more thing is that I am in the process of doing another edit to that video, and I want to add over 500 transactions under my belt, over 500 transactions, and I want to put that in the video at some point, somewhere in the video. And also, there's a couple of pictures of me that I thought I could use better pictures, but those are the pictures I ended up using.
But I'm glad you say that because I read this book a while back, and it's for startups, but it applies to anything. If you keep trying to perfect it before you get it out,
You don't do it.
put it this way: if you get it out and people tell you, "Wow, that is the best thing I've ever seen," you put it out too late.
Yeah.
You got to just get your vision out. Let it be crappy, let it be whatever, but get it out and then fix it as you go. So I love that you brought that up.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna be doing a little revisions here and there. You know what? Revisions are important because who knows what I'm gonna do. I might have another record-breaking sale. I had a record-breaking sale in Encino with Michelle Mandel from Keller Williams Calabasas. Shout out. We had a record-breaking sale in Encino a few months ago. I may have another one in, who knows, Calabasas, Hidden Hills. Who knows? I may want to put that in a revision that I do. Or I might join some committee of who knows what. I might want to add that too. So ever growing.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier that I had this deal, and I just kind of want to bring it up because the branding is so crucial. I've been branding for 20 years, being in the lending business, and then over the last 7 or 8 years, been dealing with a lot of developers. So opportunities came to me. I wasn't looking for them. We're talking to you about go out there, find the deals. But for me, I got lucky, and deals kind of fell on my lap initially in the beginning. I got into this escrow, locked it up with a partner. He was the money guy. I was just bringing the deal, putting it together, structuring it, helping with the financing and the vision for the construction, which is one way that you can do real estate. But midway through escrow, I just threw it out there. I said, you know what? Here's another option. I'll stay in the deal. I'll do everything that we agreed on. But if you want to go ahead and buy me out, then you can go ahead and buy me out. And I threw a number out there. It was close to 6 figures. Right before escrow, he came and offered me, the buyout. And I decided, for me at least at that moment, it was much better to just go ahead and wholesale the deal. So you can flip it, even, first get into the deal, lock it up, make sure that you have the capabilities of getting it done. And in one of the next steps, we're going to talk about how to fund the deal and how to finance the deal. That's kind of where the expertise of my side comes in to really getting the money necessary to get the deal done. But you always have these potential exit options throughout. So always make sure that you're setting yourself up.
So I want to talk about goals, okay, for 2022, because I feel like the last 2 years flew by. Do you remember when we were just like, oh my God, pandemic, lockdown, what? Masks? It's been 2 years and time has flown by and kids have missed out on so many things, social things, social development. We've missed out on things, mixers. I mean, every mixer, everything that we go to, the first thing they talk about is people are walking around wearing pants, where in reality, it's, we're just used to Zoom and all that, stuff. So I want to say my goal for 2022, I'm working on this really, really hard too, is to be present, okay? To be mindful and to be kind. I'm thinking that I'm pretty kind all the time, but being mindful and being present, I'm going to work on. But these are the 3 big things for me for this year.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I've always, my whole life, I've always heard people say, oh, you're mistaking my weakness for kindness or my kindness for weakness. And it's like, I don't know. My kindness is perceived as weakness, and it's not necessarily a weakness. If anything, my kindness is my strength. To be kind and to have empathy for other people. Again, this can flow into your real estate business, into
This
your
could be
personal
one
life.
of those favorite things to say to clients. My kindness is not my weakness. My kindness is my strength.
Yeah, it's a good one. What are your goals for 2022?
I haven't thought about them. I think now you kind of got me motivated to come up with something important. I mean, the obvious ones are there, obviously, for certain milestones within business and continuing to grow that. But I think definitely much more in real estate development. I want to be able to get a little more solid on that. So I'm gonna think about that, and maybe on the next episode it'll be my turn.
So maybe I'll put you on the spot and ask you, because you're into all types of books and sponsors and mentors and people like that. What is your definition? What is your meaning of success, being successful?
Yeah, that is putting me on the spot. That is definitely, there's the cheesy version, and then there's the real version.
Give me the cheesy version.
Well, the cheesy version, the definition of success is being happy and fulfilled with all of the things that you're doing, that you're enjoying what you're doing on a daily basis. And yes, that's important, that's crucial. But at the end of the day, me personally, I want to be successful. And the path to success doesn't always have to be something that I necessarily enjoy, because being successful is enjoyment. So if I make money doing, anything, then I'm definitely going to be enjoying the journey, because I'm just looking forward to the end goal. So
I feel that the spectrum it starts from the low end of the spectrum, where people are like, success is having a BMW 7 Series and going to lunch whenever you want, and that's success, having that flexibility in a nice car. Then you take the complete other side of the spectrum, like I'm talking complete other side of the spectrum, where some monk's going to tell you, no, success is just finding inner peace, right? I'm thinking somewhere in the middle. You can find success somewhere in the middle. For me, last week was my birthday, and I was able to close 3 deals while I was in Cancun, okay? 3 deals, funded, closed, recorded, checks on the way, right? For me, success is being able to close deals while you're on vacation. Every time I go out on vacation, wherever I go, Okay, I'll go to Maui. You know, I'm big on Maui. We got my Maui shirt on. If I go to Maui, if I go to Israel, if I go to wherever I go, I make it a point to not be about work, but know that if I can close a deal, it reaffirms it just reinforces my theory of success is closing deals while you're on vacation. Because then you can close deals, you can have vacation, you can enjoy your life.
Well,
right?
success also has to do with the different phases in life that you're in, right? So success today is not the same answer that I would have given 15 years ago.
Yep.
Back then, it would have been to get good at my craft, at what I do, and be able to actually get the deals done. Now, maybe I don't even want to do the deals anymore. I want a team of people to do the deals, right? So building that team, that brand. But you know, at the end of the day, today and where I am now, I want to do the things that I do enjoy. If I was in a position where I could do this podcast on a daily basis, if I could, you know, design and do editing and do video stuff and just the things that I do for fun, but if I was in a position where I could do those all the time, not saying that I want to do them all the time, but if I could do them all the time, meaning that money is no issue, that the money's coming in, you have your cash flow, you have your real estate, you have your deals, and you could afford to do just the things that you enjoy that don't make money, just give you that fun, that feeling, that to me is success.
Yeah, that's good. That's deep. I like that.
All right. Well,
On that note,
let's wrap up the episode. But we do have next week. Next week, what's step 5? Remind us what step 5 is.
so just so you know, when I do this, before I get into step 5, when I do this on a personal level with my mentorship program, I just give my resources out and I say, go out there, get these deals done. Go. If you need my help, I'm right here. I'm happy to help. You don't need to get involved. I don't want to get involved in extra deals. I don't need to. Okay. Step 5 is once you're at the point where the seller is expecting an offer and you need to think, okay, what kind of offer am I going to give this guy right now? Price, terms. There's things, it's not just price, it's also terms. Again, like we were talking about, is it a 10-day close? Is it a 60-day close, right? So you can either get a realtor involved to put together the paperwork for you, which again, you got to make sure you find a realtor that doesn't have the realtor blinders on, that he can see outside the box, that he can understand that there's either no commission involved, or there might be commission on the resale, or there might be a flip commission, whatever.
And by the way, that's huge, because some of the most successful realtors, and we had a Di Peretz here, for example, and we had a Di Leviatan, and we had many other very successful realtors. Part of the reason they were successful is exactly what you just said. They didn't have this tunnel vision, right? They thought outside the box. They built their brand on, you know, being the ones that helped find the initial crappy deal maybe, but they were also the partner to that developer, the partner to the deal maker, so that when the transaction, or when the property is finished and ready to go, they were the agent on that $2 million sale, $3 million sale. And that's how they got really, really big. So finding that partner is crucial. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, it's almost having it's almost like becoming an equity partner. Okay. Now, keep in mind, I am plenty busy. So is Lior, but we're super happy to help anyone who follows this podcast, anyone who's part of our community. We're happy to help. If you need my resources, if you need a soils engineer, if you need somebody to help you close, if you need anything with financing, Lior can step in. If you need something that you didn't even know you need, for example, like you can see the foundation is rocky or it's sloping or whatever, and you need a foundation expert, we got those. We've got it all. But step 5, we'll talk about how we can get involved in helping you get to the finish line. And that's if you want our involvement. If you don't, run with it, run wild, and we're here. We're here to help if you do need our
Love
help.
it. Looking forward to it. We're excited. If you enjoyed the episode, hopefully you subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. If not, that's okay. Just make sure to like it so the algorithm can tell other people just like you that this video exists. Anyways, till next time, peace.
Peace.